I was hoping I would have a little bit more time. As we are diving straight into this series once again on Beckett Industries and spawning in the bottom left hand corner of this map, Beckett Industries LE, we have the Chilean Protoss player. We just saw him 2-0 his last opponent. It is CristianoX. This is what I wanted! And spawning in the top right hand corner of Beckett Industries LE, we have one of the best Zerg players in all of Latino America, representing Amantes de StarCraft, going for the 12 pool. It is TheZergLord. One of the more aggressive Zerg. Oh, at the same time, no! This is not going to work! Cristiano's going for a cannon rush! No! Oh my god. I think this is a build order loss. I could be wrong, but the spawning pool is about to finish up. Ling's going to be on the way. Cristiano is about to show up, but he needs to scout the main. Oh god. Here we go. He does dip into the main base. He will confirm once he sees the spawning pool that it's already done. And it is a pool first opening. He needs to respond to this at home. There we go. He's immediately trying to wall off. Thankfully, he doesn't commit to the cannon rush. Thankfully. Oh my god, he hits first, and the boy, oh god, the drone almost goes down. This pylon is crucial. It's buying time. The Lings are wasting time chipping away at this pylon. Beautiful cancel just in time. And now the ZergLord is rushing across the map. The rush distance by ground on Beckett is incredibly small, but Cristiano, the cannon is done. The wall is not up yet, but at least the cannon is done. And because of this, Cristiano should be safe, but the ZergLord is making more Lings. Oh my god, he wants to run past the cannon. Wall off, puppy, wall off. Wall off, wall. Please, no, he needs to wall off. Oh my god, the wall is not a wall. Ay, the Lings, they slip past the cannon. 2 Lings do go down in the process, but 4 Lings make it into the main base. How good is the probe micro? Ugh. You have to be careful. The gas is going to have to be cancelled. But this is buying time. Just buying a little bit more time as we should see it cancel. Up. Ooh, cancels just in time. Oh no! Meanwhile, the ZergLord is dancing with fire here. He wants to get a probe kill. So far, the micro is pretty good on the workers, and Cristiano does lose. Oh, no! He has to be careful. Bobby, please. No. Ooh, doesn't lose a worker. Not yet. Meanwhile, we of course have that full wall off, and Cristiano was panicking a little bit there. His warp gate is a little bit late. Not going to lie there, but it is still on the way. And we are transitioning into a regular game. Again, thank god that Cristiano didn't commit to the cannon rush. Thank god that he didn't just blindly start like throwing down pylons here at the natural, and he actually scouted the main base, and he responded quite well to it. Quite well. Oh. Meanwhile, of course, these things are still trying to find some damage. Oh, they do finally get 1 probe. But it looks like 1 probe is all they are going to get. The Adept should be able to clean things up. Oh, he wants 1 more probe. He wants it! He wants it! He doesn't get it. Ooh, things were very chaotic there for a moment. But Cristiano does defend. He has a Stargate on the way. Going to be working towards those Void Rays. But it's difficult. We're on Beckett. We've survived the early game. And the thing about Beckett Industries is it favors the aggressing player. And the ZergLord, I mentioned it before, is probably the most aggressive Zerg player that we have. More so than Jim Rising, more so than Eggs, I would say, more so than Ryu, more so than Eric. I think that this is kind of what the ZergLord is known for. He doesn't have to open up with a 12 pool every game, but he can. He's goddamn good at it. But we'll see what his follow-up is going to be. Ling speed is on the way, a handful of Lings as well. Still no Roach Warren, which is curious to me. Very curious. There we go. Roach Warren is finally thrown down. So it looks like the ZergLord is going to play this pretty standard. These Lings are just going to check the third base, try and deny it if they can, but there is already an Adept, so they can only be a little bit annoying. As they show up, and yeah, they shouldn't be able to get too much damage here, especially with 2 Adepts. There we go. Cristiano, he takes his third base. He holds on to his third base, and now he can start amassing a formidable army. He's already got his forge. He can throw down cannons. He can throw down shield batteries. He can get more void rays. We do have an oracle on the way, so he can go across the map and scout his opponent, which is important. He needs to know the drone count at the third base. He needs to know if there is a roach warren or a fast lair. So here we go. He is rushing across the map. 2 more Stargates, right? Triple Stargate production. Let's go. Second Forge, which I think is a little bit unnecessary. I think he has forgotten that he started with Forge, which is understandable. Hopefully he realizes in time so he's able to cancel it. A second Forge is 100% unnecessary, as the Oracle doesn't get any drone kills, but he does scout everything. He confirms the gases, he confirms the drone count, he also confirms the timing on the lair. So he knows that he is relatively safe. The queens are starting to walk across the map though. The waddle has begun, but this has been scouted by the Oracle. He did have vision of the queen, and now he sees the rest of the army. Can he defend in time? We do have cannons being thrown down. The second forge did finish up, but we need void rays. We need as many void rays as possible, and they're still on the way. Oh god, the void ray is coming up from the natural base, but the roaches are already here, and so are the queens. This timing may be a little bit too early. Cristiano needed more time after the opener to really get up and running, and he only has a single void ray. He needed just a little bit more, and it looks like the third base is going to fall. Not just the third, but probably more than that. Cristiano, he's going to try and hold it as natural, and with 4 void rays, maybe he can. It's going to be a tough hold though. And it's one of those things where if he's able to defend here, then he can go for a counterattack with all these voids. Oh boy, but we'll see. The Lings are trying to rush on in. The wall is standing strong for now. There we go. Overcharge is popped, keeping the Stalkers and the Cannons all alive as much as possible. The Lings are being cleaned up. But what about the Queens? Oh god, that is the question. So far, the Biles honestly haven't been connecting, but there we go. Overcharge finally runs out. Oh, the Biles do connect with one of the Void Rays, and oh, it survives. But the other gets sniped. Ay, ay, ay. Now, finally, all the Lings have been cleaned up, and now the Void Rays can start focusing down the Queens. There we go. The first Queen does get focused down. Oh no, another Void Ray gets targeted, and so will another. It looks like this should be enough to defend, though. Just barely. Oh, Cristiano has to be so careful. What's important is that Cristiano did not lose any workers. He lost the wall, which includes the cyber core, and a bunch of gateways. And he did lose a couple of void rays, to be fair. 2 in total. And his void rays did take a lot of damage. So, he's in a really rough position. He needs to counterattack. I just don't know how much damage he can deal because we already have Hydras on the way. The ZergLord is already working on that next step. Oh god, no! Oh. Cristiano, please. Here we go. The Void Rays do go across the map. They're going to force a cancel on this 4th base, so at least they do some economic damage here. But the longer this goes on, the ZergLord, he has the Hydras, he has the answer to the Void Rays. At this point, Cristiano needs to start working on something else. He needs to start working on splash damage. Disruptors would be ideal. Maybe Archons and High Templar, something other than just Void Rays. Maybe even Charge Lots. At the moment though, he's doing what he can with these Void Rays, being as annoying as possible. He just needs to keep the ZergLord at home. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god! Up! Oh, the ZergLord doesn't go for it! Oh, there we go. He finally turns around. That could have been disastrous. Meanwhile, the rest of the Void Rays are in the main base. They do snipe one of the Hydras, but oh, the Bile almost connects. Oh, Cristiano has to be so careful. Like, he doesn't have any shields. That's what's scary about this. Like, one wrong move and he will lose these Void Rays. But so far, he's doing a very good job at keeping the ZergLord contained, and now we do have the saturation of the 3rd, we have the Cyber Core, we have continued Void Ray production. I'm just not convinced by Mass Void Ray. I feel like we need something. Zealots, Archons, Disruptors, anything. Of course, that's kind of limited because we don't have a Cyber Core. So we'll see. Meanwhile, the Hydras are getting in position. The ZergLord is looking to double expand. Cristiano was doing a very good job being active earlier. He needs to keep that up. He needs to keep up that map presence. Staying at home right now with these Void Rays achieves nothing. I'm so concerned with this decision here. Because of this, like, these bases are finishing. Like, the drones, they're saturating these bases, and now the Hydras are moving out. Now they're looking to hit these fresh Protoss bases. Oh boy. Here we go. And unfortunately, Cristiano doesn't have a lot of map vision either. He doesn't have any observers. We do have 2 robos being produced, but they're not done yet, and in come the Hydras. Do we have AoE? Do we have splash damage? No, we just have Void Rays, and god, Hydras love low mana Void Rays like this. As every single Void Ray gets focused down, there were not enough cannons, not enough shield batteries. And the ZergLord, he comes in with the follow-up, and GG gets called. Ooh, the ZergLord taking game number 1. GG. Cristiano just took so much damage from that first engagement, which, to be fair, is kind of to be expected on Beckett Industries. Like, that's how strong like these queen pushes can be. I'm just so surprised that they let Beckett Industries through. I'm kind of shocked. I don't know what the hell the vetoes were. But Beckett got through. Okay, sure. Oh boy. Meanwhile, the Stan showing up in the chat. Welcome everyone. Hope you're having a good time. And ooh, okay. Much more standard map for game number 2. It is going to be 2,000 atmospheres. Oh boy. As we are diving in, we'll see if Cristiano can respond in time. I'm just asking him what team he's representing, but here we go. We are diving into game number 2, and are we going to see another Forge first? I kind of want to see it. We'll see. We'll see where we go. As we are diving in to 2,000 atmospheres ALE, and spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the Chilean Protoss player representing Team Beast, currently down in the series but not out. It is Cristiano. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of 2,000 atmospheres, we have the Brazilian Zerg player representing his brand new team, Amantes de StarCraft. It is the ZergLord. Oh. I think what's great about seeing Cristiano be a little bit more active in the tournaments nowadays is that it's good to have some more Protoss representation. Typically in Sentimiento Latino, it's like we have Paco Mike, and we have Paco Mike. Sometimes we have Zions, and sometimes Jim Rising off races as Protoss, but typically it's Paco Mike holding that Protoss banner. I say that, you know, yeah. In the past, Shakti used to be there alongside him, but Shakti has been a lot more inactive recently, so yeah, it's great to see just more Protoss in Latin America, to be honest. So I'm happy to see Cristiano here, and I hope that he can take it to the ace match. Oh boy, oh boy. So far we have a pretty standard opener, hatch, gas, pool from the ZergLord, no 12 pool, and this time Cristiano did not open up with a forge. So we're getting a more standard game here, and I do think that this favors Cristiano a little bit more. If he wants to get into that sky toss, he will have a much easier time this game compared to the last game, where things were a little bit more chaotic. Meanwhile, Funada Supremo in the chat, Cristiano como jugador es buen caster. Ay, ay, ay. Hey, Cristiano is a fine player. As a bit of a reminder to everyone, Cristiano did say before we started that he is sick today, so he's not playing at his best. So, of course, he has that excuse to fall back on, Kappa. regardless, I'm happy to see him here, and I want to see him do well. We'll see if he can perform, as we do have the first Adept coming across the map. Once again, of course, the Stargate opener. What we would expect in this matchup, on this map specifically, we'll see if Cristiano decides to be a little bit cheeky, because we have seen a lot of players go for Tempest on 2000 Atmospheres, which is quite spicy to say the least. Oh, here we go. You have the initial scouts, going to confirm the drones. Will he commit? It looks like he will not commit. It's only a single Adept, so the likelihood of him dealing too much damage isn't very high at all. And we do see the Void Ray, the first Void Ray on the way. The big question is, what are we going to see after the first Void Ray? Are we going to see more Stargates? Are we going to see the Forge? Are we going to see a Fleet Beacon instead? There are options here. Or we could just see Gateways being thrown down and a Twilight Council, to be honest. There's a lot available for Cristiano. Meanwhile, the ZergLord is about to finish up. Again, it's what we would expect. You know, he is the more reactive player. That's typically how Zerg is in this matchup. And he's doing it! He's doing it! There's a reason why I brought up the Tempest, because there we go. We have the Fleet Beacon and the Forge for those cannons. Cristiano is looking to go for the Tempest. He has not produced another Void Ray. He is waiting for the Fleet Beacon and the second Stargate to finish up to go into double Tempest production. It's disgusting. The goal of these Tempests, they outrange hard, and they can snipe queens. They can even snipe buildings, because they do have bonus damage to buildings. So they can snipe hatcheries. There's a lot available for them, but you have to be careful, because if you're not, they are very fragile and very expensive units. If you lose them, it's over. Like, you cannot be caught out with your Tempests. Watch him make carriers. Which would be a Paco Mike thing to do. Paco Mike likes going into... Oh my... How did the Ling get in? Oh my god, the Ling somehow... There was nothing at the wall! Mate, shaking my head. Oh my god, there was nothing at the wall. The Ling goes in. We saw Tempest in production, but because it got scouted, he does cancel the Tempest and he goes for carriers. Cristiano. It was looking so perfect. Like, this Void Ray was gonna... The goal of the Void Ray is to snipe all the Overlords are in position, and there should have been a unit here at the wall, and nothing would have gone in, and then this would have completely blindsided the ZergLord. And going to base Tempest can do so well, but he's forced out of it. If your opponent knows you're going Tempest, like, it can be shut down pretty hard, pretty early on. So Cristiano instead backs off and he goes carriers. Oh. Brutal, mate. Brutal. We need the caster tournament. We've had caster tournaments before, if you recall. We had the caster invitational. We had 2 of them. And Jim Rising did well in them. He did well. I believe the first one... Who won it? It wasn't Pig. I remember it was kind of an upset because Pig got taken out like in the semis or something. But yeah, I can't quite recall who won the Caster Invitational, but we've had 2 of them. It would be great to have another at some point. But, yeah. We'll see how this goes here for Cristiano as the game is slowly getting on the way. This Void Ray is doing whatever he can to be a little bit annoying, but there are plenty of queens. Like, the hatchery should be fine. More than enough queens, to be honest. And we have the Spire on the way. With that Spire, we're going to see Corruptors produced immediately. And without Void Rays, these carriers are honestly so vulnerable. I mean, carriers can be very good defensively, especially against things like Hydras at times. We do have Disruptors on the way. Like, Cristiano, he's playing blind right now. What he's doing is that he's assuming what the ZergLord is creating, and he's trying to counter it, right? His army is looking pretty good against Queen Roaches and Hydras. Not so much against Corruptors. Because he hasn't seen the Spire, you know? Like, I can't blame him for not being ready for it. I can blame him for not scouting, though. Like, and again, because of the opener, he didn't go for an Oracle. It's difficult to see what your opponent's doing. Meanwhile, here we go. The Queen March has started. He's hitting the 4th base. The 4th is still trying to get up and running. The Corruptors are about to show up. We'll see. Cristiano needs everyone in the chat to help him out here in the defense, because I don't know if he can do it. Oh, God. The Queen show up. The Void Ray just immediately blasted out of the sky. Sure, there's going to be a shield battery. There's going to be 2 shield batteries. I mean, honestly, the Disruptor can do a lot of damage here. Alright, let's go, let's go, let's go. Disruptors go up. Ooh, and 4 queens immediately go down. But now in come the Corruptors, and they're targeting down as best they can. They are going to get the initial carrier. The second carrier as well is going to go down. And now there are only 3 carriers remaining. Is that going to be enough? Overcharge is keeping the carriers alive, but the shield battery gets targeted down by the Ravagers. Down goes the Void Ray. The Corruptors are falling. Oh god, the Disruptor shots! They go off, and with those Disruptor shots, I think Cristiano may have enough. He's going to lose the 4th base, but he may have enough to hold in general. There we go. Every single Corruptor goes down. Another Disruptor shot goes off. The carriers are coming in. Can he hold on to his 4th? He has lost 4 workers, but that's fine. That's damage that you can take. Oh god, he wants to hold on to his 4th base, and it looks like he just barely will. Oh my god. Honestly, there was a little bit of miscontrol there by the ZergLord. If you noticed, the goal of going for Queen Corruptor is that you have transfuses to keep your Corruptors alive. I don't think we saw a single transfuse on the Corruptors. Like, the Corruptors were just too far away from the Queens. They should have backed off. They should have been a little bit more conservative and just relied on their support from those Queens. Instead, the ZergLord, he had like a little bit of bloodlust in his eyes, and he just tried to go for the kill, and he was punished for it. And now, Cristiano, like, he kept the majority of his carriers alive. He's okay. He's good. The chat helped him. He's doing it. Here we go. In the aftermath of all of this, we do have +1 air attack finishing up for the ZergLord. He has continued to produce these Corruptors. Again, these Corruptors are still a very big threat to the carriers. We need more Void Rays. And Cristiano realizes that. He has started triple Void Ray production. But the Void Rays aren't ready yet. So he only has 2 of them so far. The Corruptors, oh, they're hunting for those carriers. In total, 17 Corruptors against 6 carriers. So Cristiano has to be so careful with how he maneuvers his army. I would love to see him get Archons out. Oh my god, he's pushing out into creep. I don't know if this is the best move. The ZergLord is getting ready to receive him. God, just look at all those Corruptors. We do have 5 Void Rays though, so as the game goes on, like, Cristiano is getting a better army. There we go. More Void Rays on the way. Corruptors are still looking for an angle. They're still looking for a way in. Again, Archons will really round this out. And it looks like Cristiano has realized the problem is that the Templar Archives only just started now. So the Archons are not going to be ready for a while. Oh my god. Meanwhile, Cristiano has maxed out. I don't think he has the best army though. Here we go. The Corruptors are diving in, and they will get one carrier for free. Oh, maybe a second. Maybe a third. Oh, as another carrier gets picked off. Oh god, these are expensive losses for Cristiano. The Void Rays. No. The base even. Anything. Like, the Corruptors, they can just do whatever they want. Meanwhile, at the same time, Cristiano, he's going for the base, but, oh god, the Corruptors are picking off whatever they can. Oh, but he knows that the Corruptors cannot engage the army with all the Void Rays bunched up. Oh god! Corruptors, please! A bit of a misrally. 3 Corruptors get picked off. And now, Cristiano, he gets a base, and he wants a little bit more than that. We'll see if he's going to be able to do it, as the target fire is pretty good, and the Corruptors are going to kill every single Void Ray. The carriers left the Void Rays completely exposed. But thankfully, Cristiano kind of has a ground army. He will lose these carriers. Unfortunately, 2 of them get picked off. But with the Zealots and And everything else, the Stalkers, the Immortals, like, Cristiano's doing it. He's taking out another base. I didn't believe that he could, but he is. The Corruptors are kind of dead supply. Kind of. They will get more carriers, but like they can't do anything here. There's no Greater Spire. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, what are all these Corruptors gonna do? Nothing. The Roche Warren goes down. And to be fair, the ZergLord has a lot of supply. There we go. The Roaches are gonna be coming in. How good are the disruption shots gonna be? Cristiano, please, we need the Purification Novas. We need them. Ah. And GG gets called. We didn't even need a Nova. Cristiano ties up the series. The ZergLord making too many Corruptors. He was maxed out, but the major, like 70% of his supply were Corruptors. Like they had nothing to do. Oh my god. Wow. GG, well played. We are going to our ace match. And to be fair, that was pretty close. Like, Cristiano, he had less than ideal control with his carriers, but he had the better idea and the better plan with his army, transitioning into a ground-focused army, because he saw how many Corruptors there were. So sure, you could argue that he could have had some better control there, and he could have traded a little bit more efficiently, but overall, like, in the grand scheme of things, like, he had the better plan going forward, and wow, Cristiano, he ties up the series. GG. GG, well played, and we'll see where we go here. I do know that Cristiano had no confidence coming into this series. He's like, oh no, I'm going up against the ZergLord, like, one of the worst players that I could go up against, because like he's so good compared to everyone else. It's like, oh, it's so brutal, but Cristiano is so close to just taking the entire series, mate. He can do it. It is possible. Meanwhile, I'm just getting some updates here. Exclamation mark B in the chat, by the way, if you want to have a look at the bracket. Let's have a look together. We have a little bit of time here. Because some interesting things have happened. Very interesting, very interesting. As you can see on the screen right now, Shelby got 2 walkovers in a row. Zion's did not show. Zion's, he just wasn't here, so thankfully we didn't try and catch Shelby, because Shelby just got a bunch of walkovers and now he's going up against Chaos Fate. Meanwhile, at the very top of the bracket, Ryu does take out Saberlight. He's already waiting in the next round. Honestly, I feel like Ryu is a sure thing to make it to the semifinals. Shelby versus Chaos Fate, it should go in Chaos Fate's way. I have a little love for Shelby, but I do think he's a little bit outclassed there. It's hard to say. And what else has been going on here? Neo is currently mid-series. Yeah. Things are popping off, mate. And here we go. We are diving into game number 3, the ace match between these two players, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn, we have the Chilean Protoss. Some know him as Zeratul ? But it is Cristiano. CristianoX even. And so, oh my god, this is the thing about these maps, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. Going for the 12 pool, we have the Brazilian Zerg player himself. He is blue, representing Amantes de StarCraft. It is the ZergLord. No, it just keeps happening. Both on Beckett Industries and Blackburn, we have the ZergLord going for a 12 pool and Cristiano going for a Forge first. Oh boy, oh boy. Meanwhile, we have a drone across the map. Proxy hatch? Mate, this could be over. If we have a proxy hatch in the wall, Cristiano, he's going up into the main to scout. He's going to confirm this, but the hatchery will start. Up, up, up. Oh, stop him! Stop him! He doesn't get the hatchery up! He wanted it to be part of the wall. He has to... Oh my god! The ZergLord, he's falling apart. He wanted it to be part of the wall, and he's like, oh god, I got blocked, so he's trying to throw it down in the natural, and now he throws it down up in the main base. The boys are forced off the line. Cristiano confirmed that it was a 12 pool. The Lings are already coming across the map. We need a wall here. Cannon does finish. The boys are here on top of the hatchery, but oh god, I'm really concerned. Is he gonna be able to wall off? Up, up, up. He does. Full wall. I think it's a full wall. Let's find out. Yep. Full wall of the Lings will do nothing. And the hatchery gets... That's a kill! That's a kill! What? The ZergLord, he is falling apart. It's just... Oh my god. The gateway gets cancelled. We have a cyber core. The ZergLord is on one base. We have a pylon here. The ZergLord, he's gonna go for the gold. You gotta go for it, mate. And there we go. There is only one way out for the ZergLord, and that is the gold base. What is happening? Oh my god. Normally, the ZergLord has grace under pressure. Like, he's been in these scenarios so often. He's such an experienced player. But here, like, mate, he's slipping up. He is slipping up hard. There should never have been a kill on this base. Look at that. 425 minerals down the drain. Because it wasn't just a kill. There was a cancel on the base earlier as well. Like, canceling a hatchery is so expensive. Finally, the Lings come back home. They deal with the pylon. The ZergLord, yeah, he's far behind. He has to try and catch up. And the problem with this gold base in ZvP is that this base is so vulnerable to void rays. It takes so long for queens to connect creep and defend both the main and the natural. So one of these bases will be exposed to the void rays, and Cristiano, he should know that 100%. He has not scouted the gold, but he should know that, look, it's got to be taken. Like, there's no other way out for the ZergLord. He Maynards everything over. Of course he does. He needs it up and running. And now the ball is well in Cristiano's court to go into these void rays. We'll see if he can pull it off. There are other options. He could try and go for a couple of adepts and try and get on the other side of this mineral line and be annoying. We'll see. We'll see how he approaches this scenario. Meanwhile, the ZergLord is he's just popping off as well. He's going 2-base lair. Mutas? Maybe. When I think of 2-base lair, I think of either mutas or maybe some kind of weird 1-base like Hydra timing. Hydra timings can be very strong on Blackburn. I've seen them succeed time and time again. But you need a lot of gas to work with, and we still only have 2 gases. So I'm a little bit confused as to what this will be. I'm still leaning more towards the Spire, but it could still be a Hydra deck. Meanwhile, yo, this is greedy. I think this is unnecessary. This is too much. This is scary. So Cristiano, he wants to go 2-base Tempest. He wants to make the Tempest work. And just like 2000 Atmospheres, Tempests do well on this map, but Hydras are going to be coming out very quickly. That Hydra timing that we were talking about, it's coming. And Hydras against Tempests, like, if they can close the distance, they will kill the Tempest. If they can close the distance. Meanwhile, the Void Ray is about to show up. He confirms a lair. That's a massive scout. That is a huge scout, and Cristiano needs to respect this. He confirms the lair. He commits to the Tempest upgrade. Oh my god. This is so ballsy. I don't know how I feel about this, but this is so ballsy. We'll see how this goes. Cristiano's Grandmaster? See, yes. Both of them are GM. Cristiano, he's like, oh god, as the forge is getting a little bit low. Cristiano, he's about 5.6k, I want to say. 5.6. Not quite 6k. Meanwhile, I think the ZergLord, I will put him at 5.8. So there is like maybe a 200 MMR difference here. Oh boy. Meanwhile, the Void Ray just get forced back. Maybe I'm overinflating Cristiano. Maybe 5.5. 5.5 would be a good place for Cristiano. And between 5.7 and 8 for the ZergLord. Oh boy. Meanwhile, the Lings, the Hydras are already here. This is why I thought that Cristiano was being too greedy. Because the Hydras and the Lings are already here. They break in. The Tempests are coming out. But is it too late? Because it takes so long for Tempests to clean up these Lings. But the overcharge is being used. The Lings automatically get cleaned up by the Cannons and the Adepts. And Cristiano holds. Oh my god. Here we go. Cristiano's trying to take another base, mate. The Hydras are right there. Calm down, buddy. There we go. Cannons and shield batteries are being thrown down. The ZergLord, though, he's taking a third base. He's thinking about moving on from here, but he's still producing nothing but Hydras. Cristiano, he has to be so careful. He cannot let these Tempests go down. Okay, he backs off. And again, with good enough control, these Tempests will always be out of range of the Hydras. That's the difference between Hydras and Corruptors. Corruptors will 100% shut this down. Oh god, but again, it's all about the control for Cristiano. He's got to be careful with these Tempests. Be careful, papi, be careful. What I will say is that because of how aggressive the ZergLord is, Cristiano is stuck at home. These Tempests, they wanted to be across the map killing hatcheries, but they're stuck here at home defending against Hydras instead. And now this is giving enough time for the ZergLord to get a hatchery and to get a Spire up and running. Meanwhile, ooh, the ZergLord, he wants those Tempests. He wants them. He's gonna dive. He's diving in. Oh, Cristiano, please, you gotta back off. And it looks like he will lose one of the Tempests. This is what I'm talking about. Like, positioning matters so much here with your Tempest, and losing one of them already. That's a massive blow. Massive pick off there for the ZergLord. We do see that Cristiano, he's trying to transition into nothing but Void Rays, but it's going to take a while, and the Hydras are still here. Oh my god, it looks like we're going to see a cancel on the third base. At least it was not a kill. And Cristiano is really struggling to take a third, to expand. This is all that the ZergLord needs to do. All the ZergLord needs to do is contain Cristiano to 2 bases, and he will be perfectly fine. Oh boy. Here we go. Cristiano, you gotta be careful, buddy. You gotta be careful. He's diving in, dipping in, getting whatever damage he can. God, I almost want him to double expand at this point. Like, you gotta do something, mate. What is he going for? He's going for charge and +1, so he's looking to try and supplement his army with zealots, which I don't think is a bad idea. There we go. Nexus finally gets thrown down. And we have a game on our hands. Earlier, the ZergLord was struggling to keep up with the Protoss, but he has closed that distance. He still doesn't have the best economy, but he has a very strong army. Or at least he's working towards a very strong army with these Corruptors. I am concerned though, like, he scouts the third, he wants to deny this, I don't think he can. I feel like taking a fourth and going up to Hive is probably the better option. Instead, he feels pressured to deny the third again, which is understandable. He's been doing it this entire game, but at this point, the army of Cristiano, it is terrifying. He has force fields. Like, he can just cut up this army. Oh god, the ZergLord has to be so careful here. I feel like he's diving in though. He's going for it. Oh god, we do have prismatic alignment. We do have the force field slowing down, and the ZergLord gets swatted away. Like, Hydras are getting picked off left and right. Oh, but here we go. The ZergLord wants the fight anyway. He's just losing so much. This is so much gas going down the drain. Ay, ay, ay. Again, I understand that the ZergLord, he was feeling the pressure, but mate, like, that doesn't give you the excuse to throw away your army. Oh god. The Zealots are getting on top of the Hydras. Meanwhile, the Void Rays are going to town on these Corruptors. Every single Corruptor is getting picked off. Meanwhile, the Zealots are still, they're just not being contested by these Hydras. GG gets called, and Cristiano takes the series. 2-1. CristianoX, he did the impossible. GG. Well played. Wow. Oh my god. The ZergLord is sorry, the Cristiano's messaging me. He's freaking out. He's like, what just happened? I won. Congratulations. Ay ay ay. GG, well played. Congratulations, Cristiano. He takes the series 2-1, and with that he moves on to the next round. To the quarterfinals.